This is Extinction Rebellion, South Australia, and we are at the Adelaide Convention Centre. Looks a bit weird, doesn't it? We're in the car park. And why are we here? Why are we walking through the car park? Well, we're about to go to the west entrance of the Adelaide Convention Centre, where the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition is about to commence. 3 days of talks for oil and gas executives from around Australia and around the world. 800 delegates from 30 countries. And they're coming here to talk about how to continue their exploitation of fossil fuels that are so damaging to the climate, so damaging to the planet, so damaging to our future. Just a handful of activists who are here to make a point that we cannot continue our reliance on fossil fuels. We're out of time. The earth is already too hot. Fossil fuels are fueling the disaster, and they have to be stopped. Over decades, governments have failed to end our dependence on fossil fuels, despite there being multiple alternatives. Mass participation in non-violent civil disobedience against the fossil fuel industry is our last and best hope for action. We want support to our shift to renewables. Electrify Australia, electrify everything. But remember, there's no point in just electrifying unless we also stop supplying the world with fossil fuels for electricity and the rest of the world.
I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying, keep gas in the ground.
We have some police waiting for us here at the corner. One of the most remarkable things about this Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition is that it's being supported, backed by the South Australian government. The South Australian government has welcomed these 800 fossil fuel executives to Adelaide, despite the fact that only a few months ago the South Australian government declared a climate emergency. So declaring it is one thing, backing it up with action is another. And why would you declare a climate emergency and then welcome hundreds and hundreds of delegates from around the world to continue talking about how to renew and extend and expand the climate-wrecking activities of the industry that they represent? That's not just a paradox, that's stupidity. That's capture. That's state capture. What do I mean by state capture? Well, the fossil fuel executives basically have governments in their pocket. There are billions of dollars taxpayer subsidies to fossil fuel industry in Australia. The Australia Institute estimates over $11 billion a year of your money goes into supporting the fossil fuel industry that is wrecking our climate. Here we are at the western entrance of the Adelaide Convention Centre. About to demonstrate to the delegates that their industry is not welcome here, that their industry is the problem. And there's just a few police officers here to welcome us. This is where delegates to the conference have been told to arrive. Still very early on a work day here. A little after 7:30. 7:41 Adelaide time as I speak. And Extinction Rebellion activists are, I think, outnumbered by police at this stage. This might not be the case for very long, but that's the case at the moment. We had been hoping and we still will make a point to the people who are coming here to this conference as they enter this door with obviously the help and support of South Australia Police. But if nothing else, when the delegates arrive, they will be informed that they do not have social license to wreck the planet. They do not have social license to wreck our climate. That the time for their industry has long passed. That it's time to move to renewables. Long past time, in fact. And we should emphasise that we're not taking aim at any individual or any person. Everyone who works in the fossil fuel industry is entitled to be helped a just transition into alternative employment. We cannot allow them to continue in their current employment because that's what's wrecking the climate. Governments should be helping them to transition and helping our economy and helping everyone to transition to clean energy. And that includes the people who work within the fossil fuel industry themselves. Well, I said at the beginning that it looked like Extinction Rebellion activists were outnumbered by police, but that's not going to be the case for much longer. We have some rebels joining us right now. We're approaching the west entrance of the Adelaide Convention Centre early on this Monday morning. what are you doing?
Alright, the IPCC is extremely clear that every additional ton of fossil fuel emissions adds serious harm to that which has already been put out there. My concerns are twofold. One is my own grandkids and their kids. The other is more than 1 billion impoverished children who now exist, and they will have no ability at all to adapt to increased climate warming.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Time to turn the tide, nowhere else to hide. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Fossil fuels must stand, the planet cannot end. Don't wait too long, it's time to be strong. So which side are you on? 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 Which side are you on?
And what are you doing here?
I'm here in desperation. Our world is in a dire situation, and they, in my state, they've announced the climate emergency. My state government, and yet we are having a conference for oil and gas in this very centre. It's outrageous. I'm outraged, and I'm doing this for my grandchildren, not just my grandchildren, for future generations. It's not okay. We've got fires, we've got floods all through our country. It's obvious what's happening. So it's an act of desperation.
Thank you. You have 2 messages on you. Well, 3. This one.
This one is about Antonio Guterres at the United Nations. In talking about dire straits, he said he made this statement that everyone acts like rebels are the problem, people who protest are the problem. Actually, people who are opening new projects for oil and gas, they're not just the problem, they're criminals.
Yeah.
Because it leads to death.
Yeah.
It obviously leads to death. People are dying now. People in the Pacific are watching their lives go wash.
Yeah.
People in floods. So who are the criminals? You know, what we're doing is
Yeah.
gluing on and holding signs, trying to remind people this is really serious.
Yeah. Truly dangerous radicals are the ones that increase fossil fuel production. And your other message is glued on. You're staying for a while. And the third message, stop. One of the delegates arriving. In case you've just joined us and you're wondering what all the noise is about, this is the Adelaide Convention Centre, where the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition is starting for 3 days. 800 oil and gas executives from around the world have come to a city where the state government has declared a climate emergency. And these 800 odd executives are here to discuss how to continue their climate wrecking industry. This is a travesty, and we're giving them a welcome. 2 conscientious protectors have glued themselves to the door, to the footpath outside the door. But police, a huge phalanx of police, are allowing the delegates to enter. And here comes one now. Ushered in. So you'll see that on Channel 9 News tonight. Each delegate who is arriving has to walk past Extinction Rebellion, conscientious protectors who are acting to help save your planet. The dangerous radicals who are arriving to continue their climate-wrecking activities. Get a real job.
I'm not sure. I just want a little sniff.
Yeah. Looks like we're getting unglued. Oop, sorry.
lose. The criminals are wearing suits. The planet's not yours to lose. The criminals are wearing suits. The planet's not yours to lose. The criminals are wearing suits. The planet's not yours to lose. The criminals are wearing suits. The planet's not yours to lose. The criminals are wearing suits. The planet's not yours to lose. The criminals are wearing suits. The planet's not yours to lose. The criminals are wearing
Reinforcements have arrived. More Extinction Rebellion activists. More rebels. case you've just joined us and you're wondering what the cacophony is, this is the Adelaide Convention Centre, the western entrance, where the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition is about to be held, is being held for today and the next 2 days. 800 plus executives of the fossil fuel, oil and gas industries from around the world have come to South Australia, a state which only a few months ago declared a climate emergency, so they can talk about how best to continue and prolong and worsen the climate emergency. As Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, said, these people, these ones attending this conference, are the dangerous radicals. Extinction Rebellion is standing up for you, for your future, for our climate, for our planet, and demanding an end to fossil fuels as soon as possible. Looks like one of our number has been detained for attempting to glue herself to the door or the footpath in front of the door. This is a conference for climate criminals. They are not welcome in South Australia. They have no social license to wreck the planet. As each one of these dangerous radicals arrives, they're being ushered into the convention centre by security and with the assistance of SA Police, because the South Australian government has jointly sponsored this conference of climate criminals.
to play devil's advocate. Perfect, thank you.
How are your hands, both of you?
A little bit gritty.
A little bit gritty?
A little high energy, I swear to God.
Did you get arrested? Not arrested.
As far as I know, but they're asking me to stay until they
Okay. See what happens. They took a long time getting you off. Okay. All right. In case you've just joined us and you're wondering what all the noise is, hi. This is Extinction Rebellion South Australia, and we're broadcasting live today from the Adelaide Convention Centre, where the Society of Petroleum Engineers, a worldwide group, has organised the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition over the next 3 days in the Adelaide Convention Centre. These are the people who Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, called dangerous radicals. They're dangerous radicals because they want to continue their climate-wrecking activities. Not just continue, but expand. And they have been welcomed to South Australia by the government of South Australia that is co-sponsoring their conference and exhibition, despite declaring a climate emergency earlier this year. Incredible, but true. They have no social licence to operate in South Australia. They are not welcome in Adelaide. And as each delegate arrives, we let them know that. Civil disobedience. Peaceful. Noisy, but peaceful civil disobedience. Two more delegates arriving. Let's see what sort of a reception they get as they arrive for the oil and gas conference. Two dangerous radicals in suits.
McAvoy here. How are you?
Doug, how you doing? Live streaming. All right. You know, you're in a popular industry when you need 30 police to get you in.
Fanatical extremists inside who would have us on a path to their species extinction. If you want to, die in now.
Silence has descended because this is the next phase of Extinction Rebellion's action today, a die-in. Each of us is going to demonstrate with our bodies the effect of what is being planned by the dangerous radicals inside the building. Police are advising the activists to die while leaving a path for the dangerous radicals to enter. If you're going to die, die so that the oil and gas industry can continue, please. You can sacrifice your lives, but you must ensure that the oil and gas industry can continue to kill us. Thank you for your consideration. In case you're wondering what we're doing here, this is the Adelaide Convention Centre and it's day one of a 3-day conference, the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition, where over 800 executives of the oil and gas industry from around the world are coming to Adelaide, have come to Adelaide for this conference on how to extend and continue their dangerous activities extracting oil and gas and exporting it around the world to worsen the climate crisis. They have no social license for that, and Extinction Rebellion and our supporters are here to remind them of that fact. The South Australian government has jointly sponsored this conference of climate-wrecking dangerous radicals, and a team of 30 or 40 police, haven't bothered to count, are here to ensure that these dangerous radical oil and gas executives can come in to their conference at the Adelaide Convention Centre to continue plotting how to continue and worsen the climate crisis. Peaceful civil disobedience is one of the tools of Extinction Rebellion, is the tool of Extinction Rebellion. And after making noise for an hour, we're now dying. It's called a die-in. Just an example of what the oil and gas industry has planned for the rest of humanity as they continue to not only just continue but expand their climate-wrecking activities. It's peak hour in Adelaide, or just before the start of business. As I speak, 8:38 a.m. Traffic has been streaming past on Montefiore Road into Morford Street in the city, over the railway lines, and a line of 30 or 40 police has been guarding the entrance to the Adelaide Convention Centre so that the climate-wrecking dangerous radicals can enter to continue planning to extend their activities so that the chances of the next generation surviving will be lessened even further. All the while being supported, encouraged and even subsidised by the state and federal governments to whom you pay your taxes. Let's have a little bit of peace and quiet for a moment while we contemplate the ridiculous nature of the fact that we have to, as we die, leave a path clear for the dangerous, radical, climate-wrecking oil and gas executives to enter their conference.
science tells us will result from our current energy policies. We are on a pathway to global warming of more than double 1.5-degree limit agreed in Paris. Some government and business leaders are saying one thing but doing another. Simply put, they are lying. And the results will be catastrophic. Climate activists are sometimes depicted as dangerous radicals. But the truly dangerous radicals are the countries that are increasing the production of fossil fuels. Investing in new fossil fuel infrastructure is moral and economic madness. We owe a debt to young people, civil society, and indigenous communities for sounding the alarm and holding leaders accountable. We need to build on their work to create a grassroots movement that cannot be ignored. If you care about justice and our children's future, I am appealing directly to you. Demand that renewable energy is introduced now at speed and at scale. Demand an end to coal-fired power. Demand an end to all fossil fuel subsidies.
If you caught the end of that speech, that was Antonio Guterres, that dangerous radical. I'm being ironic there. Dangerous radical, Secretary General of the United Nations, who declared that the people attending this conference are the dangerous radicals. And we, Extinction Rebellion, and our supporters and the millions of people around the world who demand action on climate change are doing what we have to call attention to the climate emergency and demand action. It is an emergency. Hear the siren. Chris, would you like to say a few words to the live stream audience? All right, we'll come back to you. Just yell out. We've had a succession, dozens if not hundreds of executives from the fossil fuel industries, specifically the oil and gas industry, have come. I said dozens, didn't I? I meant hundreds. They estimate more than 800 delegates from around the world are here in Adelaide to discuss how to extend and expand and continue their climate wrecking activities. They're not welcome. Their industry is not welcome. Their industry needs to be dismantled as soon as possible as we switch to renewable energy as fast as possible. They have no social license to destroy the planet, and yet they continue to extract money from taxpayers to subsidise their climate wrecking activities. So that's what CCS stands for. Yeah. Over 3 days of this conference, there are dozens of papers and presentations being made, only one of which, one session in 3 days, is about decommissioning oil and gas wells. All the rest is about how to continue extracting or even expand extraction and export and supply of the very fossil fuels that are wrecking the climate. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of heat. You know what? Extinction Rebellion activists wish that we didn't have to do this. We weren't born wanting to make noise and disrupt. But unless you disrupt, then business as usual continues. The planet cooks. You have to be disruptive. Peaceful civil disobedience has been effective in other huge social movements in the past. Peaceful civil disobedience is what got women the vote a century ago or thereabouts, ended oppressive regimes in other parts of the world, and peaceful civil disobedience will disrupt the fossil fuel industry. Join us. In case you've just joined us and you're wondering what the noise is, what the occasion is, this is Extinction Rebellion South Australia broadcasting live at the Adelaide Convention Centre, West Entrance, where the Society of Petroleum Engineers, a worldwide group headquartered in Malaysia, is holding its Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition. The last one was in 2018, so this is a big deal for them. They've got 800 plus delegates from around the world converging on Adelaide at this convention centre for a 3-day talk fest about how to expand and continue their climate wrecking industry. They are being sponsored by all of the big oil and gas production companies and the South Australian government. They are not welcome. They have no social licence. If they ever did, they certainly don't now. And when you need a line of 30 or 40 police to help you get into your climate wrecking conference, you've got to wonder, are you really in the right industry? Does your industry have a future? When millions of people around the world are demanding that you cease and desist, why are you persevering with what the people so clearly have demonstrated they do not want you to continue doing? Extinction Rebellion has 3 demands, and boy are they simple. Number 1, tell the truth. Number 2, act now. And put it number 3, this is beyond politics. This is not political. We need a citizens' assembly to help us decarbonise ASAP.
Vicky wanted to see you at some stage about some of your clips that she might use, I think. Yep, okay.
I'd love to put the microphone up to Petra's face there, but I don't think that you would be able to hear her. As I speak now, it's 9:08 a.m. We've been holding the door of the Adelaide Convention Centre for more than an hour and a half now, greeting each one of the delegates as they arrive and reminding them of their role in history, what they are doing and today planning to continue doing indefinitely to wreck the future for the next generation. There's a siren because it's a climate emergency. And just maybe, that is getting through to some of the people, some of the 800 plus delegates inside the convention centre. Maybe some of them are wondering how they can explain to their own grandchildren the role that they played in creating the emergency that their grandchildren might not live through. Got a moment for the live stream. We've been going for, I don't know, what, an hour and 3/4 or more, and it's still going strong. Petra, how do you think it's going?
These folks are fabulous. Like, it's so good to stand in solidarity with people who care so much about humanity, about our planet. Being here today makes me feel hope for my kids, makes me feel hope for, all of those millions of people who are being displaced across the world due to the climate crisis. So, we're not going to stop until this industry is. It's great to be here.
Thanks very much. One of the slogans that we're using today, which side are you on, seems very appropriate given the fact that there are, on the footpath here, two sides lined up police officers on my left, hugging the side of the building. I would say at least 30, maybe even 40, who are ensuring that the dangerous radicals of the fossil fuel industry can enter their planet-wrecking plotting conference. And on the other side, people of all ages. You might have noticed during this live stream, there are young people, old people, male, female, people from mostly Extinction Rebellion, but not exclusively. People who are trying to protect your planet for your future against the dangerous radicals who are inside with the support of your governments, I must add, both state and federal governments, who are trying to prolong the extension of the dangerous planet-wrecking fossil fuel industries. So, which side are you on? As a description of not just this protest, this peaceful civil disobedience, but also the much, much wider clash of corporate greed versus responsibility to ourselves, our children, our children's children, and the planet, all life on this planet. I don't mean to suggest, of course, that any of these police officers are necessarily on the wrong side. Some of them, of course, they're just doing their jobs. They're doing what they've been directed to, and they are answerable to their police chief, who of course is enforcing the laws of the Parliament of South Australia and Australia. And those laws are set by the governments that you elect. And for better or worse, the people of Australia and South Australia have elected governments that choose to continue supporting the fossil fuel industry. But this should not be a political issue. It is not a political issue. The physics of climate change don't respond to politics. Addressing climate change should be beyond politics. Governments have failed us. That's why we have to take responsibility ourselves. Ghana land in this case. As it says in the description of this live stream, we are coming to you from Ghana land. Ghana territory, which most people know better as Adelaide and the Adelaide Plains. And I don't believe the Ghana people have consented to having their land used for this purpose. Sign, all out on our own. Here's the stream of traffic on Montefiore Road. Going past the Adelaide Convention Centre, west entrance. In case you've just joined us and you're wondering what we're doing here or why we are here in particular, this is the Adelaide Convention Centre, and this is where the worldwide Society of, I'm losing my voice, sorry, Society of Petroleum Engineers, headquartered in Malaysia, as their Asia Pacific is holding their Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition over the next 3 days. These are the people who the Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, described as dangerous radicals. The dangerous radicals who want to continue their fossil fuel extraction activities at the expense of our joint future on this planet. They're not welcome in South Australia or in Adelaide. And we are pointing that out noisily but peacefully. That is the point. Peaceful civil disobedience.
If you feel comfortable, let's stand in silent defiance as rational people against an industry that are dangerous radicals.
We're going to keep chanting.
We're going to keep chanting.
Sorry,
Are we going to stand in silence or are we going to keep chanting? I'm not sure. Let's go and have a look.
Decarbonise. CCS is a pack of lies. 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 Decarbonise. Science cannot compromise. 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 Decarbonise. CCS is a pack of lies. Decarbonise. CCS is a pack of lies.
All join together, linking arms.
CCS is a pack of lies. Decarbonise. 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 CCS is a pack of lies.
So after a brief pause, we're back again. Extinction Rebellion at the Adelaide Convention Centre outside the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition. And we're listening to a speaker
the lives of numerous worker and tribal people living nearby. And after that, government tried to negotiate with the NICO Canadian company. But Canadian company NICO, they gave some money to build their house. That's it. And the political leader and also activist, they several times they just resist and get to negotiate with government. The government should talk to about the issue, and if they don't want to compensate, then we should go to the international.
If you were watching our earlier live stream, started about 7:25 this morning and went for, I don't know, almost 2 hours. You would be aware that Extinction Rebellion and other supporters are at the Adelaide Convention Centre. Oop, just trying to get myself organised here. Sorry about that. Okay, we're at the Adelaide Convention Centre West Entrance because this is the site of the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition, which is a conference that was last held 4 years ago in 2018. It's a conference organised by the Society of Petroleum Engineers. Yes, there is such a thing, headquartered in Malaysia. And it's a really huge thing. 800 plus delegates from around the world have come to Adelaide to discuss how to continue and expand their fossil fuel industries, extracting oil and gas from wells all around the world and pumping those carbon emissions into the air as the oil and gas is burned. Of course, some of them talk about climate capture and storage, but as we know, CCS really stands for crock of shit.
Some people displaced and they're displaced with the...
This has been a rather noisy protest, as you would have as you would have heard earlier, if you're watching earlier. But at the moment, there's a little bit of a pause to give everyone a chance to regroup before the delegates emerge from their first session. How's it going, Chris? Well, I had a bit of a pause in live streaming, but I'm back on now. All right.
And also there are lots of biodiversity.
I'm just...
everything, they have everything. But now, right at this moment,
there's not a lot of action at the moment, so I might stop this very short live stream and come back again with a third live stream in a little while. Here we are back at the Adelaide Convention Centre, where the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition is underway. And as you can hear, the noise has started again. Delegates are about to break after their first session, and we want them to know that we are here, that we have not forgotten, that those dangerous radicals, those oil and gas executives, are inside.
Thank you very much for coming, but a reminder to everybody, we're on again tomorrow and we're on again Wednesday. 7:30 at the Fleet Bridge and we're on again. So we're all welcome to dinner. Bring your drums, bring your noise makers, bring your friends. We'll see you then and let's crank it up for another 10 minutes or so. Let's go!
keep going for a bit longer, please do. I know there are some people probably need to go and want to go now, and that's fine. We haven't finished for the day. So what we're going to do very shortly is go down to the side of the river, just in front of the boat sheds, and have a rest, just have a talk about what we've just done, and we'll plan what we're going to do this afternoon. So if people want to stick around, we'll do more stuff this afternoon, but we'll have a rest down by the river first. Somebody's going to bring us some lunch at some point, so if you want to come and have some food, come down. If you need to go now, please go. Thank you very much, and remember to come tomorrow, and remember to stay for this afternoon if you can. You can crank it up as we're going, we can chant as we go. If people could help us bring the stuff down to the river, that would be great.
You've been watching Extinction Rebellion live from the Adelaide Adelaide Convention Centre on Montefiore Road, where, in case you've just joined us, I might have said this once or twice before, but it bears repeating. It's a bit hard to believe, but it's true. The Society of Petroleum Engineers, the worldwide organisation headquartered in Malaysia, is holding the Asia Pacific Oil and Gas Conference and Exhibition. 800 odd delegates from around the world, hearing presentations about how they can continue their climate wrecking activities, not just continue but expand them. And they have the support of the South Australian government, which is co-sponsoring this.
The oceans are rising! No more compromising! 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 The oceans are rising! No
This has been day one of, or rather I should say the first half of day one during this 3-day conference of radical, dangerous fossil fuel executives and engineers. The people that Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, describes as dangerous radicals. The ones who are determined to continue their climate wrecking activities. And we will be back.